What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about the 10 best home defense guns of all time.
Get out of my house, nutsack!
We're going to be going over the 10 guns that I would recommend everybody use to defend their house. We're going to have a bunch of different guns on the list. Going to be a couple handguns, couple rifles, and a few shotguns as well. That way there is something for everybody. If you're looking for a specific type of gun, there should be at least one to cover it on this list. And if you're looking for a different caliber or two, there's a bunch of different caliber choices as well. These won't all be $5,000 guns either. There's going to be some pretty affordable guns on this list, since it actually doesn't take too much money to get a good gun these days. Now, this was a list that took me a very long time to write, and again, these are my opinions. There are lots of amazing firearms on the market, and if your favorite isn't on this list, make sure to put it in the comments section below. Maybe I haven't shot it yet, or maybe I think mine is better. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys we have most of the guns and ammo on the channel, and we really appreciate you. If you want to support the videos, that's the best way to do it. Just go to the link in the description below. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. Those kids could really use your help, so please go down there and donate to those kids. Now, that being said, we're going to get right into it with number 10 here. A pretty easy choice for me. I wanted to put something really affordable right at the beginning, the CZ-P10F. I think for the money, the CZ-P10F is probably the best handgun on the market for home defense. It is a full-size 4.5-inch barreled striker-fired polymer frame pistol with a very light weight, a very solid capacity of 19 plus 1 of 9mm, and the guns can be had right now, today, if you look hard enough, for $300, which makes them maybe the best buy in the gun industry. I've mentioned them before, and I'll say it again, but the CZ-P10F is incredible for the money. A semi-automatic full-size pistol is more than enough to defend your home with, especially if you train with it. It's not only affordable, but the ammunition is affordable to get. It's relatively low recoil, and not only can you use it for home defense, but if you're really on a budget, you can carry it as well. It's light enough and compact enough to carry. So again, if you're on a budget, you only want to get one. The CZ-P10F is a great one to start out with. We have a 1,000-round review on that gun. I have 3 or 4 different variations of it, and they have been 100% reliable, which is incredible for that price point. If you're looking at the price point of $300 to $400, you're not going to find a more shootable, more reliable, more durable handgun than the CZ-P10F. And if you take that and also carry the gun, you've got your entire defense covered for only $300. Now at number 9, I had to put a revolver on the list, and we're gonna go with the one I would choose. There's a lot of good revolvers on the market. There's Rugers, there's Colts, but my personal favorite is the Smith & Wesson 686. I have so many rounds done on that gun, and I've had 0 failures, 0 issues, even when I don't clean it for hundreds of rounds, which is pretty impressive for a revolver. There's also a plus version out, so you can get 7 rounds of 357 Magnum, which is really good in a steel frame full-size revolver that you can shoot very reliably, very accurately. And pretty quick as well. Bonsai. Good trigger out of the box. You can even get a Performance Center version to get better if you want. HD sights, and they come in a wide variety of barrel lengths from 6-inch all the way down to 3. So if you want to actually carry this, you can do that as well. The 357 Magnum cartridge is more than enough for home defense needs, although it is a bit loud. The revolver is a little antiquated compared to some of the other super fast guns we have on the list, but its reliability, durability, and simplicity cannot be understated. It has been doing the damn thing for hundreds of years and will continue to, and I think the best iteration of that currently on the market is the 686, at least for me. Now, the Smith & Wesson 686 is not super affordable, but it's not super expensive, coming in at around $700 to $900, depending on what version you get, what grips you get, what finish you get, and what barrel length you get. In at number 8, we're going to step it up in price a little bit, and we're going to talk about a PCC. But not just any pistol caliber carbine, the best pistol caliber carbine for home defense, and that, of course, is going to be the HK SP5. Now, the HK-SP5 is a semi-automatic version of the greatest submachine gun ever made by a human being, the MP5. The MP5 has been in service with almost every military since the 1960s and still is today because of its reliability, its durability, its accuracy, and its incredible ease of use. Very easy to shoot, very soft recoil, and 30 rounds of 9mm put in the right place will do the job every time. The roller delayed system on the MP5 has been made famous because it's probably the most easy to shoot pistol caliber carbine on the market, and the HK MP5 in particular might be the most reliable as well. Put those two together and you certainly have a phenomenal package. I know many people who are in the know that use an HK MP5 for home defense, not just because of the cheap ammo that you can use, you can train with it all the time, you can practice at steel up close, and you can shoot all day and have tons of fun and use that same gun for home defense. But also, if you suppress the gun, they're incredibly quiet. And if you have small children in the house, or maybe you live in an apartment and you don't want to make a ton of noise or have a ton of over penetration, you want to have a quiet package that'll just do the job, the MP5 is the right choice. In at number 7, we have the Beretta A300 Patrol, the first shotgun on the list, and I think this is really where shotguns shine.
Now this is what you want, baby.
We don't do a lot of shotgun content on the channel, but they are my old friend. They're some of the first guns I ever shot, some of the first guns I ever used in hunting. I am a country boy after all, and I think maybe the best semi-automatic on the market for the money is the A300 Patrol. These guns can be had for less than $1,000, have a 7+1 capacity, and are a semi-automatic with incredible reliability, ergonomics, and all the features you need to be a home defense gun right out of the box, including a very ergonomic rail and M-lock slots to put a light, which is incredibly important. If you're running a home defense long gun, you should definitely have a light. Now, a lot of people say that shotguns aren't for smaller statured people, and I would sort of agree. However, semi-automatic shotguns, especially lightweight ones like the Beretta A300 or an honorable mention to the 1301, are light enough and have low enough recoil that smaller statured people, even like my wife, who is 5'2" and has very little experience with shotguns, absolutely love them.
This is my favorite shotgun! I love it!
The 12 gauge is the most lethal round that you can choose for home defense, and up close, 9 pellet buckshot is the equivalent of being hit with a burst of a submachine gun all at once, and you got 7 more to go. You can mount a red dot if you want, you can put side saddles on them, and you can get them in really cool colors. Especially for the money, the reliability, the durability, the shootability, and definitely the power, the A300 certainly makes the list. And again, honorable mention to the 1301, I think the A300 is just a little bit better because it's half the cost. In at number 6, we have the Geissele Super Duty. Oh yeah. The Geissele Super Duty is an incredible rifle, and the AR-15 platform itself might be the best platform for home defense. The Geissele is a very soft shooting, incredibly reliable, and incredibly durable AR-15 in 5.56 in a multitude of barrel lengths. I personally have one in 10.5 and 12.5, although I would recommend if you're getting one gun, you might want to get 14.5 or 16. That way you don't have to worry about the pistol brace or the SBR issues. The Geissele AR is so trusted and so reliable that it is currently being used by SOCOM, not only for their standard rifle, but their new precision rifles are also made by Geissele. The triggers are incredible, the rails are solid in case you want to rock a laser aiming module and run some night vision on those fools, but they are very easy to suppress, and if you put a suppressor on it, it doesn't all of a sudden make it unreliable. They're designed for it. They come in cool colors, they're very ergonomic, and again, very soft shooting. And the best part about them is they are an AR-15 after all, so they pack the 30 round capacity of the 5.56, which is very good at stopping threats up close. If you got Michael Myers coming at you with a kitchen knife, he won't be coming at you for very long if you have a Geissele. Now, the Geissele was almost a shoe-in for number 1, but sadly they are very expensive, $2,000 to $3,000 depending on how it's configured. And I think there's better options for the money ahead. In at number 5, we have an absolutely epic handgun, the Glock 34. Now, the Glock 34 was my personal home defense gun for quite a while, and it was my very first USPSA pistol. The reason why is because, I went to school to be a police officer, and I trained on Glocks, and what's a better Glock than the Glock 34? None of them. The Glock 34 is a 5.5-inch barreled, 9mm striker-fired polymer frame pistol that is legendary for its speed, accuracy, and its reliability. It also doesn't cost too much at around the $600 to $700 price point. Now, there are things about the Glock that some people might not like, but there's a lot of things I think you will. The grip angle's not great, the trigger's not wonderful, but the reliability, the durability, and the track record speak for itself. And as I mentioned in the last video, they've won more championships than the Chicago Bulls, so you can't say they can't shoot. They're easy to learn for new shooters. Magazines, parts, and the guns themselves can be found literally anywhere. They also shoot that awesome 9mm round, so it's easy to shoot and affordable to go out and train. On top of that, they have a relatively long barrel for a handgun, so you get guaranteed expansion on your hollow points, which is important. They actually have a longer barrel than most pistol caliber carbines or submachine guns, which is interesting to think about. The Glock 34 is one of the most trusted guns in the industry, and as far as handgun goes, especially for the money, if you're looking for track record and excellence, you can't do much better than that. Now, you can't make a list of home defense guns without having a pump shotgun now, can you? So in at number 4, we have my personal favorite, the Mossberg 590.
Get out of my house, nutsack!
Now, the Mossberg 590 is the fully upgraded version of the Mossberg 500 and the bigger, badder brother of the Mossberg 88. All those guns are great, but the 590 is just a little bit better and sure does look meaner. Now, there's many different versions of the Mossberg 88, and the prices can vary pretty wildly, anywhere from $400 all the way to $1,000, depending on which version that you buy. The only thing you really need to add to it is a light and a side saddle with some extra ammo, and if you get a good Streamlight and a cheap Velcro side saddle, you're probably only in an extra $100 on top of the gun. So for a total of maybe $500 with the cheap version, you have one of the best home defense setups you can get on the market today. They pack the same wallop the Beretta A300 does, but it is about half the cost. The other cost of the 590 is that you're going to have to run the pump, and you have to remember that most malfunctions with a pump shotgun are induced by the shooter, so make sure that you train with them. The reason why I chose the Mossberg over something like the Remington 870 or maybe the Winchester SPX is because the Mossberg has a track record and history of excellence not only in the military and law enforcement circuit, but in the civilian market as well. Not only that, but the Mossberg 590 also has an ambi safety on the top of the tang, so if you're right or left-handed, it's no issue. They also have no loading gate, so you can thumb the shells in without pinching your thumb, and if you're a newer shooter, or my wife, for example, you really appreciate that. Not to mention they come with a heat shield, and that shit looks dope. If you really want to step it up a notch, add an extra $100, put a bayonet on it, and they will run screaming from you at the very sight. In at number 3, we have, man, this is kind of a cop-out, but Staccato 2011s. I couldn't decide what 2011 to put on here, but I knew what brand. And the reason why I say that is because I currently use a Staccato 2011 for home defense. I actually use the Staccato XL. Before that, I was actually using the Staccato P. And before that, I was actually using the Staccato C2. I like Staccato 2011s because I am a huge fan of the 1911, but Ricky Bobby likes to go fast, and more capacity is more capacity. Now, Staccato is known for making 2011s great again, and they literally made them reliable. They made them durable, and they made them trustworthy enough for even law enforcement and military to use them. Now, the Staccatos are the only brand of 2011 that we've had on the channel where we've had more than 10, and none of them have had any malfunctions that weren't ammunition related, which is absolutely incredible for a 2011 pistol. Now, if you're looking for a small gun that you want to carry, I would absolutely recommend the C2. It is a compact 15-round 4-inch 2011 pistol, which I used for home defense for years because I also used it for concealed carry. I would concealed carry it, go home at night, and put it on the nightstand, and it worked great getting 2 birds stoned at once. That being said, if you're only going to use it for home defense, there are slightly better variations. The Staccato P, for example, instead of an aluminum frame, has a steel frame. It's a little bit heavier, soaks up the recoil a little bit better. It has a 4.4-inch barrel, but personally, I choose the Staccato XL, which has a 5.5-inch barrel. Again, I like that expansion, and she likes little extra inches. It's more shootable, and it has a lighter trigger. Now, that's not for everybody, but it is for me. Overall, the Staccato 2011, in my opinion, is the best handgun for home defense that you can get on the market today. Incredibly shootable, incredibly fast because of the 2011 trigger, and it's very reliable and very accurate. What's not to love? Oh yeah, the $2,000 price tag. If that's too much for you, go out and get yourself a Glock 34, train more than the Staccato guy, and they won't even notice. Now, in at number 2, we have the best home defense shotgun on the planet, and that is going to be the Benelli M4. My great love, my favorite shotgun and has been since I graduated high school. I love the Benelli M4, and so do the Marines. It is the most tested and most successful semi-automatic shotgun in combat history. The Benelli M4 is no joke and no doubt the most reliable semi-automatic shotgun on the market, and it also has one of the lowest recoil impulses as well. It uses the Argo system, which is a self-cleaning piston system, so you barely even have to clean the damn thing. You get a 7+1 capacity of 12 gauge. They're very easy to load and very easy to shoot. They come either with a pistol grip or a standard stock, a Picatinny rail up top, and ghost ring sights, which make it look mean as hell. Now I know intimidation is not for everybody, but I would like for them to stare at my gun in awe and run away so I don't have to fill out any police reports. They come in some phenomenal colors, and these days they're actually a little bit cheaper than the 1301, which is pretty crazy. The only con of it is probably that it's pretty heavy at about 7.5 pounds, but if my wife can shoot it, so can you. Don't be a baby. You can shoot this 12 gauge so fast that I'm unsure if there's anything else more devastating on the market, and I think the reputation, the durability, and the reliability, and definitely the power speak for itself. Now, there won't be any honorable mentions for this video because we are going to be doing a follow-up to this. So if you want to see those videos, make sure you go down to the subscribe button and hit that, and also hit the notification button because apparently a lot of you are getting unsubscribed again. YouTube is always at it. With that being said, we're going to get into number one, and it's my list after all, so I'm going to choose my home defense gun. And for those of you who've been on the channel for a long time, you already know what that is. It's the BCM AR-15. Now, Bravo Company and I are also old friends. I have been using them for many years. They actually sent me a gun for the first time this year. However, I've been purchasing Bravo Company for over 15 years, ever since I saw that Larry Vickers did, and he didn't steer me wrong, I can tell you that. After tens of thousands of rounds on Bravo Company rifles, I have found that they are probably the most reliable, not just rifle, but probably gun for the money that you can get on the market. Extremely impressive firearms overall, especially for the fact that you can get them for $1,000 less than the Geissele, and I think $4,000 less than the military's current gun. Now, the AR-15 is kind of vague because they come in a lot of different barrel lengths. As a matter of fact, they come in a lot of different calibers. You can get one in 300 blackout. I would recommend the 9-inch. I use that for critter defense. They come in a 10.5, which is okay. The 11.5 is where you should be at if you're looking for a pistol. 11.5 has great dwell time, good reliability, good expansion, and overall has good fragmentation out to 150 yards. Yeah, shorties are real inaccurate, that's for sure. But if you want the creme de la creme and you're only gonna buy one, I would get that 14.5-inch mid-length. What a phenomenal gun. For about $1,500, you can buy a literal do-it-all rifle that you can shoot up close, easy. You can suppress the gun. It will hold 0 if you put a laser on it, and you can also shoot it very accurately out to 500 or even 700 yards. If it sounds like I'm gushing over it, it's because I am. I absolutely love this gun, and you couldn't pry it out of my cold, dead hands. If you're looking for the ultimate buy once, cry once, go over to Wisconsin, check out Bravo Company, do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, and buy the right gun for home defense. Now, before we go, I do want to mention a couple of things. Number one, a gun is not a system. If you're looking for home defense, remember that there's a lot of other things you need. Alarms are good, lights are great, and dogs are even better. But you know what's better than all of those things? Training. If you buy a firearm, make sure you have enough money in your budget for A, weapon light, and B, a lot of freaking ammo. If you only have $1,000, get that P10F and spend the other $700 on ammunition and make sure that you're good with it. A guy that trains a shitload with a crossbow is better than a guy that doesn't train at all with an AR-15. I really believe that not only training your skill, but training your will is extremely important. The will to act and the ability to not freeze in the moment is more important than what gun you choose, so make sure you go out and train your body and your mind and your skills. I highly recommend that if you are very serious about home defense, you should go out and either take some kind of training class, and I know people say that a lot, but if you take a training class, you're gonna be out there in front of people, you're gonna have to actually perform under pressure, and a step above that is maybe going to a USPSA, IDPA, or 3-gun match. If you have an AR-15 or a shotgun for home defense, you can go to a 2-gun or a 3-gun match, and you have to use that exact gun under pressure, and you're gonna find a lot of failure points that you wouldn't have found found otherwise. Maybe in the loading, maybe in the actual operating of the firearm, or maybe in your safety. A lot of times you find that you are not quite as safe with your firearm as you should be. And in home defense, you're going to be moving that gun around a lot, especially around your loved ones, and safety is going to be a priority. Not just speed, and not just performance, and not just how much you can get for the money. Make sure you go out and train, and make sure you do a little bit of it under pressure. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Feels weird port loading the little mini shells. Feels like I'm doing something wrong.
Should hold one up for me to see.
Like an Asian porn star.